How can we have peace in the Middle East when there's none at home? How can we have understanding in the land when there's none in the woman? And there's none in the man. How can we heal the wounds of the world if we cannot heal our own? And where does this peace on earth begin if not in the home? Where do we go now? Do we let the devil in, or do we get up and fight? Surely we know how to conquer all our fears, bring an end to the violence, bring an end to the tears. How can we heal the wounds of the world if we cannot heal our own? And where does this peace on earth begin if not in the home? Well, there's too much talk about it, and too many walk without it. Tell me, where is love?
Well, hello, my name is Randie Henderson. I am moderating tonight for the book club chapters 5 and 6 of We Are the Ones We Have Been Waiting For of Alice Walker's novel, or book. I am moderating, and I am watching from Atlanta.
I'm Michelle Odom. I'm here in the Bronx tonight, Bronx, New York.
Welcome, Annalise and Paul. My name is Venita Walker, and I am in Hartford, Connecticut, actually Cromwell, Connecticut. Welcome.
Welcome.
Hello, everyone. This is Labeeb. I'm live here from Long Island, New York.
And my name is Georgette Moses, and I'm participating from Columbia, South Carolina, and I'm happy to see all the new faces here tonight.
Yes, I'm Annalise. I'm in Atlanta.
My name is Paul Chapman, and I am viewing from Atlanta as well.
We are reading We Are the Ones We Have Been Waiting For, Chapters 5, Crimes Against Dog, and Chapter 6, This Was Not an Area of Large Plantations. Okay, so the summary of Chapter 5 and 6. Alice Walker's Chapter 5 was a short but sweet chapter. In it, she reflects on her dog, Marley, and reflects on the things she has taught her. For example, we are not ourselves when we are mean, self-forgiveness, love, affection, and companionship, as well as the importance of these things. Chapter 6 is a much longer chapter and digs deep into human nature. In this chapter, she speaks a lot on healing, reflection of history, and overcoming the past in a healthy manner through meditation, education, and practice. Both chapters include some of Alice Walker's deepest reflections and emotions. These chapters were perhaps her most personal. So question 1, Chapter 5, Crimes Against Dog. Discussion question, the chapter review. Marley was born December 9th, 1995. She shares a birth sign, Sagittarius. At times, I feel surrounded by Sagittarius and enjoy them very much. They are fun to be with, outspoken, passionate, and won't hesitate to try new things. First question. Alice Walker starts this chapter on a light note. I found her mention of signs as refreshing, though I can't really explain why. Have you ever paid much attention to your sign? Do you think there is truth and characteristics associated with them?
Well, while I'm not a what do you call it, an astrologist, I do pay attention to my sign and the sign of others. And this is why I'm going to say what I'm about to say. I disagree with the Sagittarius thing. I'm not too fond of Sagittarius. However, my father is, for example, and a couple of my good friends are. So that's kind of a it's kind of a contradiction. But just in terms of some of the characteristics of a Sagittarius that I found.
What is your sign?
They tend to be Capricorn.
Ooh.
Oh.
Okay. And folks have problems with Capricorns too. So, you know, but anyway, I manage with all 12. Let's just put it that way.
Well, you were starting to tell us what your assessment of the Sag is.
I think they tend to be a little bit of selfish, but on the other hand, quite giving. They're both fun to be around, you know, because of their spunkiness, I think I would call it. But then on the other hand, you know, they're kind of moody. So, you know, there are times you don't want to be around them. So that's that.
What is before we continue, if you know your sign, can you tell it, since Alice Walker started the chapter off about signs?
Well, I'm a Sag.
You're holding up for something.
And so I appreciated Alice Walker's assessment of the Sag. And I can't disagree with your assessment, though, Labeeb. We do have our moods. You know. But you know, I've had so many bipolar people in my life. I would say that our moods don't come close to what that experience can be like. You know, we may have a day or a few hours where we just need to retreat, and you just need to respect that. And in terms of being selfish and giving, I would say my experience with Sag is that they're mostly very giving. What I would say I am selfish about is if I feel strongly about something or passionate about something, or am just needing my space, I can be very selfish about that.
Venita, what's your sign?
Aries.
Oh!
Let's be hard. And my best friend, the Sagittarius, and everything she said is right. Except Aries can handle it. You understand what I'm saying? And you guys can handle her. And we've been friends for 40-something years. And she's a Sagittarius. Although I would never sleep with one of them. They could be a best friend. But yeah, I'm an Aries. I think different types of Aries. Aries are energetic, fair, can be brash if I'm tested. I'm working on that though. It gets better. They have a strong exterior, but actually they're very soft inside. And the exterior is for protection. Because we got a lot of people that's going around that have no humility and just going crazy all the time. And Aries don't understand that. So we're who we are. If you love us, we feel fabulous. But if you don't, that really is your issue, not ours. We're like that cat that Alice mentioned in chapter 5. We will be us regardless of anything, and the only way we'll change being us, it has to be by force. I mean, gun to the head, noose around the neck. Even then, we probably go down in flames if we really believe in something. We stand by people that we love. We do have a pet peeve, though. We don't do needy people too well. Overly needy people stress us. And unfortunately, we work on that all the time. But it's been 50-something years, and I still have not mastered dealing with people that are over needy. And in terms of over needy, I mean emotional vampires. Those type of people. Not folks that are hungry, not folks that need spiritual, support. I'm talking about those emotional vampires. We cannot deal with those people, and they don't really last that long. As I said, I do my list every year. 30 people, half a man left. It's usually Michelle. That's it. Who else is the Aries over there? Any other Aries?
What you say?
Who else? Any other Aries?
Right here, right here.
Oh, you don't forget. I was wondering why, girl, I was feeling you.
Yes.
I was feeling you.
This explains a lot, Venita.
Okay. When's your birthday, Jeannie?
April 6th.
Mine's a 12, girl. No wonder I was like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Annalise?
Well, I mean, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. It's interesting that, like I said, I haven't been in front of this book for a while. And so I'll preface this. A long time ago, I actually was very, I could say, fascinated with astrology and with, therefore, now astronomy, because I do see a difference between astrology and what astronomers do, like Neil deGrasse Tyson. And I was just looking for it on my system here, but I've written about this. It's called "What's Your Sign? Thoughts on Astrology, Sexual Compatibility, and First Impressions." And I wrote about an experience that I had going to a bar with one night by myself, and a guy was sitting next to me, and he asked me my sign. And when I told him my sign, he had all of these assumptions about who I was and what we should do together, and namely it was sexual assumptions, assumptions about compatibility. So I wrote about that in a short blog thereafter, because that was all he could talk about.
Can I guess it?
Yeah.
Scorpio.
Are you a Scorpio?
Yeah. Why did you guess? Why did you guess?
Because they're associated with sexuality. You guys are the vampires and sex. Clint is a Scorpio. Always incognito. They move all smooth. Player type thing.
Oh, no. I don't think Scorpios, assuming that there's a lot of merit to that, but I wouldn't say that.
Well, that's what they said. That's not what I believe necessarily.
That is my issue with it, in defining a person on the basis of an astrological, a connection with an astrological or constellation in the sky. And I wrote about that because I write as a womanist and I write as an atheist as well. So I don't, I see astrology, and as astrology got started as a, if you will, a form of early spirituality, a form of, in some cultures, there is actually where, say for example, a couple will need to go together to a diviner to see if they are compatible, their signs are compatible. Of course, at one point in time, this all seemed reasonable to me. But now where I am in life, not only with regard to being an atheist and writing as an atheist and advocating in a sense for atheists and atheism, I don't, you see what I'm saying? So I don't particularly give it more credence than be real kind of wishful kind of thinking. So I think that how to put that? Yeah, so I associate it with something that could possibly, we think, what is really the merit of saying why I was born, and when I was born, the sign was up in the sky as a sun sign, or there's a rising sign, if there's the ascension sign. Um, but I don't use it as a way to make decisions about someone that I would want to be with, whether that would be sexually or not. You know what I mean? So yeah, so I mean, matter of fact, because I just wrote a piece, probably it was about 3 to 4 months ago, about that. What's your sign? And so I don't remember reading it in this particular book with Alice Walker, but like I said, I don't have my book in front of me, but I think it's fascinating. And I think it's fascinating, a lot of people really are into signs and using the signs as a way to, if you will, figure someone out, so to speak, versus, like you said, I don't think I have the names right, but you said, Michelle, you were talking about, what it is to be in relationship with someone who has mental health issues or is dealing with some kind of mental health question. So I it's a fascinating thing. I mean, I think you can build a whole argument around astrology and the sign as a way into relationship, but it's not something that I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.
Okay, I do just want to say, like I said, I think it's a way of trying to make sense out of human behavior, and you start to see these patterns. But astrology is considered unscientific, but a lot of these personality assessments that we do today, particularly the Myers-Briggs type indicator, are considered to be scientifically valid. And whereas astrology gives you 12 personality types or signs, Myers-Briggs gives you 16 personality types. And they don't correspond at all to the signs really, but it's still a way of trying to organize and make sense of human behavior.
Right. Oh, I mean, I totally get that. I'm just saying, I think, hold on. The argument that, one can use the constellation of the stars in the sky, astrology, for a means to, again, make choices of, say, someone, or even figure somebody out. A very ancient one, and a very, I wouldn't necessarily call it scientific. Well, I would call it scientific in the way that it was science of ancient peoples. Okay, I would say that. But I think that we have outlived that science in a sense, as in terms of where we are now. In other words, what we use in order to make sense of our lives now in the year 2014 is very different than what we used before. I think our ancestors, our people who came from many things to make sense of their lives as they were, but it doesn't mean that I would use those things today. And that is astrology, because a lot of people are also duped by astrology in the sense of they'll pay money to go I think, to talk to somebody and tell them this. And there are some people who would say that's valid, and they, that they really value that. I was watching a television show the other day. What's the name of it? I think Carmen. It's an old movie with Beyonce in it and Mos Def, and I was shocked, to find all these actors that I'm certainly familiar with. But in one scene, that's what happens. She goes in with her friends for a tarot reading, which I would put squarely in with types of astrology. Because our constellation that we're thinking of when we talk about the 12, Scorpio, Aries, some of the ones we talked about, just one of many, right? So signs and constellations that that people associate with that we don't necessarily even recognize. You know what I mean? The chicken, the rat, the snake.
Well, let's try to move on because Randie has a lot of questions for us tonight. But Kim, let's hear what's your sign?
I'm Capricorn.
Oh. Okay. And do you ascribe to astrology?
Years will go by and I'll have to remember that I'm Capricorn. I don't but the one thing that I do believe is that there are people who they line up to the characteristics of their sign, like my daughter's Taurus. And so there was a book, Parenting by Astrology. And so what it means when a Capricorn parents somebody who's a Taurus, so that was helpful. And the other thing is that I think birth order is more important to me in terms of trying to sum up people. You kind of see where they fall in, if they were the last child or the first child or the middle child. Those things kind of color what I think of people more so than the astrology.
And Paul, we didn't hear from you.
Oh, I'm a Pisces.
Oh, okay.
And Randie, what are you?
Randie?
Randie, what does it mean to be a Pisces?
I don't know.
you look these things up.
What's your sign, Randie?
I'm a Leo.
Ooh, I like Leos.
Most
of the time. Leo and Aries, and Leo's a fire sign, right? And so is Aries, and so is Sag. So and I have found in my experience that those are the people that I get along with most easily. I can get along with other people, but it takes a little more effort.
My mom is she's an Aries and my dad is a Sagittarius. And I love my mom. She's cool. I love Aries. Y'all are cool.
Yeah.
Very simple. The point,
My father is a Leo and my sister is a Leo.
Oh, okay.
And I have another sister that's a Capricorn.
Oh.
Yeah, she's a New Year's baby. And I'll say ooh too. But Ellen is fabulous. But I don't know Ellen well.
How can we heal the wounds of the world if we cannot heal our own? And where does this peace on earth begin if not in the home? Yeah.